No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I'm with my man Remo, and today we're in here having a much-needed conversation with a legend, Hurricane Chris, in the building. How you feeling, man?
What's poppin'?
Chilling.
Good. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, happy to have you, man.
I'm on Adam 22.
Hey!
What you want to do? Yeah, Hurricane.
Yeah, tell him.
These one of the ones, man.
We made it. We made it.
You're a legend, man. I still got a memory of, what year was it? 2007 when you first came out?
I came out in 07. I got my deal in 07.
And I remember living in Brooklyn at the time and just hearing A Bay bumping out of multiple cars, driving down the street in my new apartment in Queens at the time, and just realizing, like, oh, this is the new thing. Like rap music is changing. This is when even as like New Yorkers and shit, we're like becoming aware of like, oh, there's like very different sounds and styles coming from down south and shit.
Yeah, slowing that cadence down.
And that one, sure enough, was like Song of the Summer.
But you know, it was hell for me to make that song.
Why you say that?
Because I actually passed spelling bees and I was good at reading. So when it came to making some shit saying, you want to know what we say in the club? And then I have to pause, let the beat breathe, say, hey, baby, and then say, riding in a Zach with him. I wanted to just rip up every beat back then because I was just a young, you know what I'm saying, rapper.
Right.
Like, that shit was like pulling teeth trying to make me slow down and make the song. I hated the shit.
But who told you to do that, or where'd you get the idea? You were just trying to make a hit?
I just knew I had to just dumb it down. They was telling me to slow it down. Like, a lot of the people around me was like, slow it down. Like, give them something they can understand and remember. Even my mama was telling me that, like, how you doing? You cold, but that shit you rapping is too fast and it's too much. I had New York influences and a lot of shit like that. So, you know, I just had to slow it down.
Now that I have a kid, I see that. Because my kid will remember a song if it has a chorus that sounds like a 3-year-old could remember it. Right, but meanwhile, you know, when I play shit for her that's lyrical or doesn't have a hook, she's not going to give a shit. She would have to hear it 1,000 times to give a
They don't want to hear that shit, bro.
Yeah.
They do not want to hear that shit. Like, my son listened to what he listened to, and it'd be songs that I wouldn't even imagine he would want to hear. It'd be like, I just sit back and watch the kids do what they do. I don't try to make them be on what I'm on or none of that. Like, let them do him.
Different era right now,
yeah,
right?
I'm really just peeping, you know, like he teaching me shit, you know.
But what kind of shit is he into?
He into music. He play football and he's studying music. Like, he 11 years old and now he got to the point where when we riding in the car and somebody got a sample in their record, he'll be like, that's a sample. And then sometimes he'll even know where the sample came from.
Really?
So he's studying music, but he crazy about football. Like, that's what we do every day. I'm a real dad.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'm a real dad.
That's good.
Not part-time dad.
Are you supporting his music career? Like, if he wanted
I buy
to
him
do
whatever he asks for to do it. Like, he asks for the keyboards and all of that. Like, I go get it. Like, yeah, I ain't pushing them to do nothing, but it is what it is.
Whatever you bond, you bond.
Yeah, I'm giving them free range.
Was this your first kid?
Yeah, my only.
Okay, your only son.
Yeah, I ain't got no bunch of baby mamas. I ain't got no bunch of child support to pay.
You were just saying, like, I'm a real dad. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, is that in contrast to maybe your version of being a dad in the past, or have you always been committed?
Like, I mean, I take it serious, and I see how some people, you know, they put the money before their family, and like certain days with me, you can't buy. You can't buy Christmas.
Right.
You can't buy my son's birthday party. Like, you can't buy my son's birthday that day. You can't book me. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain. I'm gonna put him before anything, before any type of bag. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't gonna disappoint him.
You got to make those tough decisions as a dad.
Yeah. Straight up. And if you ain't got enough paper put up to focus on your kids by this time, then that's kind of like your fault and on you. It's time to, you know, you're supposed to be focusing on them, trying to aim their career. A lot of people ain't aiming their kids' careers in no type of direction, you know, and that's something you might want to pay attention to, you know, see what they interested in.
Definitely. So you were speaking about your history as a rapper and everything, but let's just go right back to the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and where you're coming from?
I came from Ratchet City, Shreveport, Louisiana. Probably like 170,000 people, real small community. Some people might call it country. That's where I come from, like Cedar Grove. My family was born on the east side of Cedar Grove, then we moved to the west side of Cedar Grove. That's like a known neighborhood in the city. But I'm loved all over the city. I always been loved all over the city, you know. It's just my stomping grounds. That's where I came up at. That's why I got my first start in this shit at, you know.
What are your earliest memories of hip hop as a young kid?
Man. So my daddy used to go to the store and buy tapes. He used to stack up so many, I used to steal them out of his room one by one. So I used to listen, early on I was listening to shit like Spice One.
Shout out Spice One.
8 Ball, MJG, you know, stuff like that. That's what I was on at an early age because it was what I had access to, you know.
What was your lifestyle growing up, like in Shreveport? What type of typical like household did you have?
I had my daddy was a hustler.
Yeah.
I came from a family of hustlers. Like, I grew up in a time where our people had to do what they had to do. So I really grew up right in the middle of that. Watching at 3 years old, you know, looking at 3-4 bricks of cocaine on the table being broke down, and I know this dope, even at 3, you know.
Yeah.
So like, to see where I'm at now, it keep tripping me out, you know what I'm saying, to see that I was able to take a whole nother route and shake what I was really, you know, a product of. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I really grew up in the middle of this shit.
Was there like a time period or a memory that stands out in which you like fully became aware of the fact that your family was doing shit that was illegal?
Say it again?
Was there a moment or like a memory when you realized that your family was doing illegal stuff and that this was not like the way that other people make money?
My daddy beat my ass, right? I watched him break down a Kia Coke on a table with one of his people. Rest in peace, he dead. I ain't gonna say his name. And when my dad and them left, I walked up to my mom and I was like, my daddy just gave such and such some dope. And I ain't number 3, probably 2. So this was crazy, you know, because I'm looking at my son, he 11 years old, and he don't know what none of this shit is. So that let me know I'm doing something right, you know? Like, I ain't letting that same cycle continue. That's what it's about with me.
That's what's up. That's good to hear. But so, okay, like, so your dad beat your ass when you're 3?
Not beat my ass, but
Right.
I got a spanking, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got a popping for saying what I was saying. I don't even know where the whooping came from. It may have been my mama who whooped me, but I know I said some shit I wasn't supposed to say because I was paying close attention. Like, say for instance, my daddy used to look out the window every day at the neighbors and say, look at them motherfuckers. So one day at 2 or 3 years old, my mama come in the room. She said, I'm in the blinds like this, got the blinds ripped all apart looking through them. I say, mama, look at them motherfuckers. Like, so I was soaking up everything like a sponge.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They let me know you got to be careful what you do in front of your kids. Like, so now if me and my woman get into an argument or something, the first thing I try to do is say, hey, we talking too loud. You got to check that shit.
Yeah.
They soak it up.
You realize your kids are literally going to repeat anything you say, and if there's something that you say that they don't understand, they're going to begin the slow process of figuring it out and figuring out how they can say it and shit like that. I'm at the point where my kid repeats the things that I say instead of swearing. Like, I'll say, like, what the heck? Instead of what the f***. And so she'll be running around the house saying, what the heck?
Yeah, I can
and
say that
It's
one.
kind of weird because I'm like, I don't really want you saying that either. I was like,
She was looking for an out.
yeah,
He gave her
exactly.
out.
Definitely. But okay, so as you get older and everything, were your parents doing a good job of keeping you away from all this funny business they were involved in?
I mean, I got into music at an early age. Like I said, I was running in my daddy's room listening to that music, and I fell in love with it. I was playing football too, so I fell in love with the music, and I started rapping in the neighborhood by the age of probably 12, 11 years old. People was knowing me for, you know, having the ability to rap. So, you know, I was just able to do some other shit. You know, they did that shit, so, you know, I was able to do some other shit.
Was your dad behind your music career any at this
My
time?
daddy got locked up. He did like 4.5, 5 years for weed, which is, we riding around and we buying this shit out of every dispensary now.
He was just having personal amounts of weed
It
on
wasn't
him?
personal amount, but
okay.
it wasn't no hundreds of pounds or no shit like that.
Right.
Like, he was just a small time selling dime sacks in an apartment type shit.
Damn.
Like, you know, tell your dad to break me a dime, a nickel type shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Had no major weight. She did 4.5, 5 years. Shit. Me and my brother went and picked him up together when he got out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So did you seem to have talent as far as rapping from early on? Were you somebody that people were looking at in the neighborhood like you might have something?
Yeah, they was with me early on. I couldn't be with. Like, you couldn't with me. I was busting up like everything they got in front of me. You couldn't with me even at a young age.
Who did you want to rap like at that time?
I used to listen to, around this time when I really started getting serious, I think Eminem came out. So I was listening to Eminem.
Word.
I was listening to a lot of that, like, and then I started getting into, you know, the more lyrical artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of curved me and helped me a little bit. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you was having motion in Louisiana before any of your hit songs even came out, right?
Hell yeah, I had been popping in Louisiana.
How did you start gaining like fame in your area? Like
I was always known for rapping, so I used to always enter competitions. One time I entered a competition, and this little independent company started rocking with me, let me get in the studio like every day. From then on out, I started dropping mixtapes. Every time I leave the house, I come back with $1,000 from slinging my mixtapes. Just got popping in the city like that to where I started getting booked outside of the city. Now, at 12, 13 years old, I'm making $5,000 every weekend, and I was doing little gigs here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm moving all throughout Louisiana, all throughout these little back town countries, you know what I'm saying? And I'm getting popping, so that's what built me up. I didn't just come out of nowhere. It wasn't no put that shit on Spotify. Now I was on the ground stumping, meeting people, and I had to know how to move around people. I couldn't be no up individual because I was around people that would peel your shit back. You understand? Yeah. So I really had to get out here and politic and make my shit, you know, do what it did.
So at this time, like your dad's locked up. So who's like moving around with you as you're pursuing your music career?
I had a partner named 3. We hooked up and he started moving with me, and we put a security team around me at a young age, and I just was always, anytime I came out the house, I moved hella secure. We took that serious. I took it serious, he took it serious, and you know, we ain't never do no slacking. Like, I was peeping this here out before I came, trying to see, well, we need to have a tactical team pull up before I come, you know, but you know, it's all good.
But that was part of the conversation from early on, is just like, we got to figure out how to move safely through these environments.
I think that happened because every time I went somewhere, a shooting happened. Shootings was happening like right next to me at every club I went to. Somebody get shot right next to us. So my mama started making me wear a bulletproof vest at a young age. Even in school, she like, that.
Word.
You wearing a vest. Took me and got sized up for it. They made me a special vest at probably 13 years old. I'm wearing it to school everywhere I go. She just got tired of hearing that I've been in right next to a shooting or somebody getting shot.
Yeah.
Wow, that's one of the most extreme parenting measures I've ever heard, and I've interviewed thousands of rappers. That's intense.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now, like picture that, trying to send your son to school with a bulletproof vest on.
Just knowing that your kid is in that kind of danger, but that he can't, you can't remove him from that environment totally. So the best thing you can do is to at least make it so that they won't get shot in the heart. That's
Yeah, you wasn't
crazy.
gonna stop me from rapping.
Yeah.
There wasn't shit you could do.
I heard one more extreme thing that I think you said on the interview. You said that your dad was offended by people smoking weed around you, but he used to let you hold the guns.
Yeah, so when
I heard that,
I was like 3 years old, around that time when they was breaking down the dope on the couch, they used to, you couldn't walk in the house with your gun on you. You was gonna get disarmed at the door. So everybody knew the rule to disarm themselves, but they also knew this little motherfucker right here know about guns. So everybody that walked in the door hand me their pistol. So it's probably be 3 of his homies that walk in. So by the time everybody get to the back, I got 3 unloaded pistols sitting on the couch, clicking them like a cowboy. Like real guns.
Yeah. But your dad was cool with that, but when it came to the weed smoke, he wasn't with it.
Nah, and I think what that was is he wanted me to know how to protect myself in the environment that I was being raised in, and how to survive and how to use the tools that was needed in this environment that I was being raised in. But he ain't want me to taste the environment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He did a good job at that. You know, I ain't never been no junkie or no silly shit.
Yeah, you breathing in that weed smoke when you're young. That's the beginning stages of you starting to smoke for sure.
You couldn't smoke no weed around me when I was young. Like my daddy would have lost his mind. Nobody ain't light a blunt in front of me, period. If I walked up and you was smoking, you would put that shit behind your back like this. My daddy was the man, so what you gonna say?
That's funny, because that's how we are with my kid, is that we never let anybody be smoking weed around her.
Right.
But meanwhile, a lot of my friends, when they come in here with their kids, it's like nobody's even thinking about it.
Yeah, I see people do it, but they kids probably was born around it, so
Yeah.
it was probably like different. My kid wasn't born around it, and he got asthma, so I don't even smoke around him. I ain't smoking in the house around him. I got a whole nother section of my house for smoking. I ain't doing none of that. it ain't that serious. Nigga ain't no dope fiend, goddamn.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I know. I feel bad about even putting my kid in the car when I was smoking weed in it, but the day before.
I don't even smoke in my cars.
At all? Okay.
Yeah, nah.
You got more self-control than me, yeah.
I'm smoking in my shit.
No, that's smart.
All right, so 13 years old, you going to school, wearing a bulletproof vest, but at this time you have emotion. So how they treating you at school? You the man. I'm guessing you the man. Everybody.
I got haters and I got lovers.
Yeah.
But you know, the love always gonna overshadow the hate. So you couldn't stop me, and wasn't no hate finna make me feel bad about nothing I had going. I was getting money at a young age. Man, in the 9th grade, I'm pulling out $10,000-15,000 out of my pocket. So
Yeah.
I'm loving this moment. It ain't shit you could tell me about this.
And the hate's coming from the people at the high school with you?
Yeah, I had, you know, you gonna have your cats who ain't doing what you're doing, who might not be on your level, who just jealous. You gonna have natural jealousy. It's just something about seeing a nigga get a bag and you know you in his environment and you don't see him as being no better than you. Some people can't accept that. They questioning why the f is he in this position. Then in the 9th grade, I'm driving to school in X-type Jaguars and shit like that. Like, so I'm cutting up at a young age. I ain't got no license or nothing, but we get into a bag at a young age.
Were the kids in school aware of who your dad was and what the environment you came up in was like?
Yeah, because the apartments directly across the street was his apartments. I went to school directly across the street from the apartments that he hustled in. So everybody knew whose son I was.
Because when you talk about having 10 or 15,000 on you in high school, like alarm bells just start going off in my head. Like to a young kid, like you do not want anyone knowing that you have that kind of cash on you.
Hey, I had more jewelry then than I got now.
Really?
Facts.
You were going for it.
Facts. I had more jewelry when I was a little kid back then when my daddy was in the streets than I got now.
Really? But you had enough respect that it was never an issue?
Nah, you ain't gonna. I ain't had no problems like that. I ain't hell nah. Cause my last name ran. Everybody in my family went to the same high school, and my family kicked ass at this high school. So
it was an actual like real tight knit kind of vibe in the community and shit, like an actual community.
Yeah, you got your people who opposed to the people who rocking and doing what they doing, but for the most part, I ain't gonna just say a tight community. It's just everybody know everybody, and you know what to do and what not to do. It's a small community, so you got to be careful.
It feels like so many of the people that we talk to these days, it's the opposite environment, where it's like everybody's kind of mysterious to each other. It's like, and that environment like allows a lot of violence when nobody really has like connections to each other.
I realize that, like, you gotta kind of pump your brakes where I'm from, because that shit you finna do, your mama might be best friends with his mama, so you can't just be a wild man. You gotta think before you do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really gotta pay attention. Yeah, it's a small community like that. Before you know it, you've been turned everybody against you.
Yeah, no, facts. So, okay, at what point, what year was your graduating class out of high school?
I got out of high school. I stopped going to high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stopped going when I just hit the road with the music around like the 10th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so the high school was down the street. Boosie and Webby was at the studio while I'm at school waiting on me to pull up to do music. So it was hard for me to stay in the classroom when I know I got them, and I know they didn't text me. I got a text saying, Boosie and Webby here, they waiting, y'all doing the song when you get here. I'm leaving school at this point, like I can't stay here.
Right.
My career calling me, my mama's struggling. We got eviction notices on the door at this point, my daddy locked up. So we doing bad around this time. I got money in my pocket, but my mama kind of doing bad, you understand what I'm saying? So I need to keep pushing and start to make a bigger move, you know what I'm saying?
And Boosie and Webby are already like huge legends to you at this point?
Yeah, legends, and not to me, and
to everyone,
the whole bottom of the South, not just Louis. This when they was popping.
Right.
They had Swerve and all that out at this time. So yeah, this was like, they was like Lil Wayne of down there back then. You know?
Webby probably had Independent out too at that time, right?
Yeah.
So how did he get in tune with you? Like, cause this before you had a hit song?
Nah, I'm telling you, the people that I was signed to, it was a bag behind me since a young age.
All right, for sure.
So whatever I wanted, they was making it happen.
So who'd you sign with?
It was a company called 5 Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like anybody I wanted to feature with or any of that, it was happening. Like, we was moving. It was a budget behind me.
And who owned that company?
It's a lady and her husband.
Okay.
And that's based out of Louisiana? Or was it like
Out of Shreveport.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
And you had a good relationship with them? Like,
Yeah, I actually I looked at them like family. I lived in their house damn near type shit. Like they looked at me like a son. I looked at them like family. We recently had a fallout. So what happened was, I hired a manager in Atlanta, right?
you're talking about recently or back then?
This what happened with this ain't back then.
Okay.
This is recently.
Okay.
We was good up until now. Like
Oh,
we're
really?
still doing business now. We had a situation on the table a couple of years ago. So I hired a manager, right? Peep game. And I want y'all to peep game too. I hired a manager. I moved them to Shreveport, Louisiana. When I met my manager, I was in a situation where I'm up. I need to make something happen with the music. My manager living in a U-Haul space up. He need to make something happen. So we click, type, boom, shoot the Shreveport. I get back with my people who I was with. We put a deal together. We got a situation. My manager is somebody who was close to 50 years old, right? He don't know how to market a new artist. So the methods he was choosing to use the budget caused the situation to deteriorate, and it caused me to get pissed off, and I started saying, hey, man, I'm gonna be in a hole for this budget. You spending the money the wrong way. The label chose to say, nah, let's spend $100,000 on one song right now. I said, no, it ain't no way I want to be involved. No, because you finna put me in the red. I don't even know what we doing. I don't even got a song right now that I would feel comfortable saying, let's do that with. Nothing. So that's how I stopped the whole relationship with management and with my whole old label I started with, which is somebody that I was supposed to continue with and still be with to this day.
Even you still, like, you being in this relationship for like 20 years is pretty amazing.
Right.
Not 20, but
Yeah, because this is a recent
over
falling
15.
out.
Right.
Damn.
All right. So when did you get your first hit? Hey Baby was the first one that cracked off, right?
I ain't gonna say that was my first nationwide.
Nationwide.
Okay, yeah. But you already
But
lit.
I had a song called You Hear Me. We had a song called Yep. And they had us touring throughout the whole bottom of the South, from Oklahoma to Mississippi to all over Louisiana to Texas. So Hey Baby was the first nationwide hit.
And you said that you had to like go outside your comfort zone to make that crack off. Like, were you sort of getting to the point of realizing like you were going to be lit down south, but that if you wanted to take it to the next level, that you're going to have to do something different?
Nah, see, I got tired of watching artists pop right in front of my face. Like, everybody getting a deal. And I'm rapping. I've been rapping since I was 11. Now I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what I gotta do? And I'm paying attention. So you got people coming out with these catchy, simple songs. So let me go in the studio and try my best to make the dumbest, simplest song I could possibly make. Yeah, that's what happened.
And that's where Hey Baby came from, right?
That's what happened.
All right.
I actually heard people saying it in the club. They was psyched out with the DJ. That night I hit the DJ, hey, this shit is crazy. I'm finna make a song. I got an idea. Make it. Boom. I whipped it up. We started sending it out to DJs, and that shit ain't never looked back.
So what a lot of people might not know is Bebe was the name of the DJ in y'all area?
Yep.
All right, because a lot of people, when they first heard that song, they thought you were just like hollering at a chick like, hey, Bebe.
I wanted the song to be bigger than that, so what I did was I made it to where, now when I see a bad chick, I'm hollering out, hey, baby. So I changed it from something that they would understand locally to something that they could vibe to nationally. You understand what I'm saying? So I involve more people. That's why I added, that's why I say white folks, gangsters, and the thugs. You know what I'm saying? Just try to involve everybody and say, if you a white folks, a gangster, and a thug, you could say this. If you stunning in a lack with a mug, you could say this. You know, if you in a club, you could say this. Just making it more than what it was.
So who was Bebe at this time, and why did you even feel like you needed to even shout him out?
I mean, the club was already doing it. It just was a chant in the club.
Yeah.
So I just put two and two together. Make a record to this shit, it's gonna pop.
But he was a DJ out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then at the time, did y'all have like a good relationship, or y'all kind of
we was cool.
y'all got cooler like before or after the song came out?
We was already cool.
All right, so y'all was running together.
We weren't running together, but we had a cool enough like communication back and forth type shit. We was around each other every now and then.
So then that song comes out, it blows up. You and him friendship become a little closer, I'm assuming? Because I seen somewhere where you said y'all started running around more and you kind of like helped him get a deal at iHeart or somewhere?
Nah, so that's just off of me making a record.
All right.
You know, just off me making the A-Bay record, giving
that stamp.
Yeah, so that's what I meant by that.
All right, for sure.
I ain't mean like, you know, we was running around together every day like that. We ain't never been running around buddies like that. I couldn't tell you what he do with his day.
All right, for sure. What club was this?
Man, we used to have the craziest club in America. We had a club you could get head in, shot in, and something to eat at the same time. It was called Coco Palace.
Holy shit.
It was like the latest shit in the city, but it's gone now. 50 Cent just went and bought up a bunch of shit in Shreveport.
Really?
So I'm hoping he put back some of the shit that meant something to the urban community, you know, because I feel like a lot of people who had the money downtown, they kind of bought out all the black people. So, you know, I hope that change in the future.
So it's like an area that's becoming gentrified?
But now 50 just went down there and bought up a bunch of shit, so it's kind of like, you know.
That's interesting. I wonder where he even got the idea to do that somewhere so far from where he grew up.
They had a big-ass tax incentive in Louisiana for a real long time. There's been a lot of movies being shot there that you probably don't know about for a real long time. A lot of the movies you've been watching, they've been shooting that shit in Shreveport.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's where he's building the G-Unit Studios?
Yeah, that's what
all right, for sure.
It was already built. It was actually a building that somebody had got a bunch of money from the state for, and they got a grant, and they were supposed to do stuff for kids, for the community, all kind of stuff. They ain't do nothing they were supposed to do, or they couldn't do what they were supposed to do. They left, went out of the country. They was playing for like the Beatles or something, and the building just sat vacant. It was just gonna just sit there and rot with millions of dollars worth of equipment in it and everything. So the city was really wanting somebody to like, please come get this.
Wow.
Where?
That's great. So had you been talking to labels about signing prior to making A-Bay, or had you not really gotten to that point yet?
No,
in terms
I
of
haven't been
majors?
talking to no labels. Before that, I was cool with people like, the only rapper I had ever hung around was probably BG.
Okay.
And that's because I was cool with his manager. So I ain't have no connections to the industry like that.
Besides Boosie and Webby though, right? Because you said they were reaching out.
Yeah. But that was, back then, I was doing music with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was paying them to do music. That's how we built their relationship. With BG, it was kind of like they was just like saying, come ride with us on the road. I was just hitting it, going on tour with them, hopping in the limo.
So then A-Bay comes out and you just start getting all this label attention right away when they realize how much potential it has?
Yeah, I mean, College Park flew straight to Shreveport as soon as the song blew up, and he wasn't going to leave without signing me.
Really?
Yeah, so I got a deal with Clyde Davis and Polo Grounds, Brian Leach. That's who I signed with.
Wow. So how much did that change your life? Because you were already making money on a smaller level, but then all of a sudden you signed. Does that change everything?
It's crazy, bro. The night I signed a deal, I could feel it when I walked through the club. Like, people looked at me a whole different way, and this was my community, the people that I came up around. Like, that always looked at me like I was, you know, just like them. They probably still feel like that, but I could tell how proud of me they was, you know, like it was a feeling that went over my body that just gave me chills to walk through the club. And, you know, I got 30, 40 people with me, label executives. You know, I just came from standing outside with a big pole on my hip somewhere, chilling with my brother doing some shit we ain't had no business doing. Like,
yeah.
So this shit was just mind to us.
And so, but how much did it change your financial situation? Did you feel rich all of a sudden, or was it just a little boost?
Right, I feel rich all of a sudden. It's checks coming all the time.
Yeah.
This shit is lit. I ain't never seen no money like this.
So what's it like as that song starts getting played all over the radio and MTV and shit?
Man, I started touring. I started going to all them places. Like, you start seeing like the different reactions. The girls at the hotel room asking, can they give all your homeboys head and then give you head just to get to you? I'm like, nah, I'm straight. You know? But like just seeing how, you know, how this movement was able to capture people and make them pay attention to it. Like, it was beyond me.
But it must have been crazy too, because you're used to the down south circuit, but then all of a sudden, because like I remember this being a time period where like I'm living in New York, and all of a sudden shit like OJ Juice Man is popping off, and like on one hand he's talking about trapping and shit, so a lot of people are with it, but then at the same time like New York is very like purist hip hop as well, so people were like really not with it. So was it kind of like mind-blowing for you going to like different markets where your shit just seems so foreign to them?
You know what hurt my feelings?
What?
Ice-T got on YouTube one day and was talking about me and Soulja Boy.
Oh, he put you in the
remember
Soulja
that.
Boy category? Because he was going at it with Soulja Boy for a while there.
He said, Hurricane Chris, take the bees off your head. I'm like, what? I love Ice-T.
Oh man,
It's crazy. I was mad though.
Yeah.
I was mad.
You ain't do a response video? Because Soulja Boy came back dissing him at that
I ain't
time.
He
do none of
violated
that.
him.
I ain't do none of that.
You ain't do no
I ain't never
response.
believe in
Yeah.
doing all that rap.
That's smart,
beef and
though.
Talking and shit. I ain't really big into that talking shit.
there's not a lot for you to gain from shitting on your elders entering the rap game.
Nah, you gonna lose. Take days off your life. Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Now, I just went to Raising Cane's and they had Ice-T everywhere around that bitch. Cardboard cutouts of him outside the Raising Cane's and shit. Like he's their
So
number
imagine
one.
I would have told I wouldn't be allowed in no Raising Cane, and I am Cane.
You know, that's funny. All right, so when did y'all decide to do the remix? Because the song's going crazy. Now you're like, all right, we finna put the remix out. Who was the first person you reached out to, or how did the remix come about anyway?
Boosie, he was the first person to get on it. After that, I think it was like The Game,
Yeah, because the Game was on there.
then E40,
Jadakiss.
Jadakiss, and Birdman.
Birdman was on there.
Yeah.
And was it crazy for Boosie to see you go from a dude that he was like getting paid to do a feature for?
And Angelo, that's somebody from my city. She was on the remix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna forget her. My bad.
Did you feel it from Boosie that like he saw like, oh shit, like you went from somebody that he was having to get paid to do a song with to like all of a sudden now he's happy, he's thankful to be on this remix because it's a huge hit. Like, was that kind of crazy for him to see that?
Because he called. He said, "Hey, don't take me off the remix. Do not take me off the remix." So I was proud, to have legends ready to fight, to stay on this song.
No, that's dope.
Yeah, I kind of took that like, yeah. She just told me he gonna be mad if I take him off here. So as a young kid, they couldn't do nothing but boost my ego, turn me up some up.
Was it all love in your community, or did you have like a negative reaction as well as people saw you becoming successful?
We had some haters. We had haters. You ain't gonna do this shit without no haters. It's gonna be some niggas who wanna try you.
How far is Shreveport from Baton Rouge and New Orleans? Like, how far is the drive?
What, Baton Rouge, like 3 hours, 45 minutes, 4 hours? Yeah.
At that time, I'm pretty sure that was a big market for you as well, like traveling, making the trips to Baton Rouge and New Orleans to like perform.
Yeah, I've been going to Baton Rouge since I was like 16, 15. I've been going there before I even blew up. I told you I was already tearing Louisiana up. They had to give me a bag.
Did Birdman or Master P ever reach out to you around that time?
So I was on the road with Birdman when I first signed my deal. People thought I was with Birdman because I was with him damn near every day, but we never did no business.
What year is this?
Shit, the entire time from 2007 throughout the entire time I was with my label and we was running because we all toured the same arenas, so we built a real tight relationship, even to the point where they started putting me on their rider. I stopped moving with my people and just started moving with them, you know what I'm saying, building a relationship. So before you know it, I done sent my tour bus home. I'm on Birdman tour bus. So like we just built a relationship like that, and that's somebody I still keep in contact with. He just called me probably like a week ago, a week and a half ago. So I try to keep them relationships, And
was he trying to sign you at some point or no?
He kind of was hinting at it and telling me what we needed to do, but my young, dumb, stupid ass didn't understand what he was saying. So I ain't know how to connect him with my CEO to make this shit happen. All I knew was I already had a deal.
Definitely. So, okay, that whole time period is going crazy in terms of you just moving around and everything. Like, how long would you say that you were just dealing with the straight up like afterglow of that song blowing up? It was like a year or two of just nonstop action?
When A-Baby like started going crazy, I hit the road for 6.5 months without coming home one time.
Wow.
Damn.
When I came home, my family had moved. I had done bought a whole new house and hadn't even seen it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Is Halle Berry out at this time too? How long did Halle Berry
Halle Berry ain't out yet.
Ain't even out yet. So just off just hey baby.
It's off the dump, off the rip.
All right.
Like we was caking up at a quick pace.
When you look back at that time period, because I feel like that's kind of like a crucial decision for an artist that starts blowing up, is like, do you want to kind of stay in your environment and keep recording, or do you want to hit the road and start grabbing all these back ends from shows and everything?
A lot of artists up right now because they focusing too much on the shows, and it stopped their creative process.
Right.
They got their music from hanging out, from going to the studio on their own time, hanging out with their engineer, stopping the session, talking about some bullshit that don't even matter, and then starting the session back. But when you got an artist on the road and he got to try to book a session while he on the road and he only got a certain amount of hours, and like that shit don't get you that same consistent sounding music. Like you gotta allow him. You can't just roll yourself to death.
And you spend your whole life making music, rapping about all the shit that you're around, and then all of a sudden you're on the road and you're a superstar and people are screaming when you walk in the room, and obviously that's awesome, but
Facts.
Does that make your music good? Not always.
No, it's a lot of people who they scream for music that's trash. You just gotta scream with them. Yeah! Damn, this shit trash.
When you look back out on it, were you lost in the sauce, or like how up did your mentality get as you were adjusting to being the famous guy in the room?
I was lost in the sauce. They put me at the table with Ashanti and Nelly to have a dinner. And I'm at the table like this. Cause they ain't let me, cause I couldn't smoke before the shit, so I'm in there like this. I'm at the table with Ashanti and Nelly. Clyde Davis sitting right over here. Like, it's nothing but millionaires and billionaires in here.
Yeah.
But they took me straight out of Cedar Grove, out of Shreveport, Louisiana, and didn't tell me nothing. I don't know how to act. I don't know nothing about none of this shit. I don't know none of these people. I was taught to look crazy at a stranger if I don't know them and watch for them to make movements that I ain't, you know? So it's like, I was out of my comfort zone. I felt like I was way out of my comfort zone to the point where they used to have to take me back to the car, like, what the what's wrong with you? Like, I just had to get used to the industry shit. I came from Shreveport, Louisiana. At a young age, I was hopping on the floor at 7, 8 years old, diving on the floor, because all we hear is, up, 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 and they don't stop. They keep going, up, 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 and you gotta lay on the floor till they stop. And they gonna keep going. Like, so I'm traumatized.
You're talking about your house getting shut up?
My
not
house
just like,
ain't the house across the street.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, this what I grew up around. So snatching me out of that shit and telling me to smile like everything is all good, that shit was like impossible.
And wasn't there also a scenario where you, because I think I seen you say that you wasn't really happy with the deal that you was in. Because it said that you felt like Bebe finessed you and he was more happy about taking the deal because he was leveraging you to maybe line his pockets.
As I got smarter, I was able to look at it like that. And I'm also able to, you know, I'm able to look at shit from a different perspective after I bag away from the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wasn't happy with the situation, but I wasn't just super pissed off with the situation either. You know, as I learned more, I learned that it was more things they could have did and that they should have did. Shit that they should have asked for that they didn't ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really was eager to get inside of a situation and make some shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was even people come after that, like, what they gave you, I give you double right now.
I know you said Jay Prince offered to double it up. That's when
right
you realized.
Whatever they gave you, say the number, I'm finna give you double.
And that's kind of how you realized that you kind of probably wasn't in the best deal when he offered to double it for you, right?
And he don't even know what I got. Whatever it is, say it and I'm finna double it. And you could come get it.
And at the time, you was just loyal to who you was with. How come you didn't take the
I wasn't smart enough to know I can go to these people and buy myself out of this shit. All I know is I signed a contract. I'm young. I don't know. Now I know I can. Shit, they signed me for $1 million. He finna give me $2 million. Shit, I can buy myself out of this shit. I can get him 1.5 right now. Now they made a free $500,000 without spending nothing.
But the fucked up deal was the one with your management company, or was it the one with the major label?
I mean, the deal with the label was the deal that I feel like the management should have paid more attention to. You know, because with me being the age I was, I'm relying on older cats. That's why all you youngsters who getting in situations, go get you a real deal lawyer so he can look at the paperwork and make sure that shit's straight. Don't let your homeboys look at it. Don't let your homeboys come in the room and tell you, sign this shit, man. It's gonna get you rich. It's gonna get you a deal. F that. Go get the lawyer, and when the label tell you this deal only lasts one day or we ain't gonna sign you, tell them to kiss your ass. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just shit that you learn over time, though.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to say, let me go get something to eat. I'm gonna pull back up. I'm so young, I'm letting these motherfuckers press me in to put my John Hancock on some shit before I even leave out of the building.
Yeah. And that's why you're signed to a bunch of people who are in their 30s and 40s and shit, who are supposed to know the game. And then, like, at some point, if you realize, like, oh, they maybe didn't necessarily have my best interests in mind.
Right.
Or weren't as knowledgeable as I thought that they were.
Right. And which is why it ain't shit I can be mad about.
Yeah.
If they ain't had the knowledge, they ain't had the knowledge. But it's the truth. I'm gonna speak the truth, and, you know.
So where are you and Bebe relationship at now?
We ain't got no relationship.
Yeah. But
You know, when I got out, when I was going through my situation, like, I reach out to people, and certain people showed me love, and certain people showed me that they understood I was going through something and that I may have needed a little hand or some support in some kind of way. People showed that, but the people who didn't show that, I wrote them names down. And them names, they ain't never gonna get forgot.
Yeah.
You watch me fight life. I called you and told you I need you to reach out to somebody and make a move happen for me so I can put together a play to finish paying for these lawyers and doing all this shit. Cause I'm finna lose M's on this shit. From not being able to do shit, endorsement shows, everything. And you tell me, I ain't with the music right now, I'm just chilling, man. You know, I'm just doing my own shit. Like, I told him straight up, from the bottom of my heart, you ain't gotta worry about me no more. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I could say that because this somebody that, you know, that knew me since way back then. You know what I come from, you know what I went through to get to what I got to, and you know what it felt like for that to be dangled in front of my face and for them to be about to take that from me. You understand? Because you went through the same thing. He went through a legal case. I stayed right there with him. So I ain't never turned my back the whole time. And it could have put smut on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel me? So I just learned from the people who turned their back when I went through my situation.
Yeah.
And I might not be mad at you, but you ain't got no reason to call me. I ain't f***ing with you.
And for the people,
if you ain't understand that I wasn't asking you to do no shit that you might have not. If you feel like it, I wasn't asking you if you feel like it. A nigga was on a motherfucking desert, stranded, telling you I need a bottle of water, and motherfuckers was like, hey, nah, I ain't f***ing with that. I'm straight on them. You heard me?
So where were you actually at in this time period? Like, before we go into this situation that came about, what was your life like around that period, and what year are we talking?
This is 2000 and this like over 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
right when my case happened.
Early pandemic, basically?
Yeah, I'm guessing like 21.
Okay.
I don't even remember the dates on that shit. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, right around the pandemic. Yeah.
And what's your life like at that time? Like, what are you doing with your time? And
shit, I'm smoking a million, kajillion, kabillion blunts. I done started like drinking and everything because I'm trying to ease my mind. I'm trying to cope with this shit. I done ducked off in a basement somewhere in Louisiana with an ankle monitor on my leg in a basement and won't come out this mother. I'm up about this shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, you're talking about after you catch the case.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah.
wondering just like what your life was like before.
Oh, before that, before this, I own a dispensary in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
all right.
I just bought a house in Texas. I just signed to an acting agency, one of the best ones in North Louisiana. I just did my first small film, got paid more than said, proud of that. You know, so I'm moving and everything I'm putting my fingers on is clicking at this time. Everything I'm trying to make happen is happening.
So life was good because like I feel like some
life
percentage
was
of the
good.
audience is gonna think like the ABB thing happened and then like 13 years go by and like they're not sure how well your career was going.
Nah, bro, I was good. Like I'm still caked up. I'm still caked up. Like At this point, I still could pull out $1 million and show you this shit. Like, before this case, I ain't had nothing to worry about. Like, we was laughing at everything to the bank, you feel me?
And you're still in your hometown, or no? You moved to Oklahoma around this time.
No, I didn't move there.
Oh,
I moved
okay.
to Texas.
Okay.
Opened a dispensary in Oklahoma. I bought a spot in California too. I was in Thousand Oaks. So I was just like, I came out here for a movie. The movie ended up getting shut down, but I still got paid. So now I'm out here with an apartment. Like, but I'm making leeway in everything I'm doing. Everything I'm putting my fingers on, this shit is clicking. Until the bullshit come.
And so, can we start breaking that down? Like what happened that evening? And that
Man,
was out here.
Nah, that was in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
you was
went
at a
back.
gas station.
Yeah, I was at a gas station, just talking to my partner, chilling at the gas station. Start breaking into the whip. When I try to make them stop breaking in the whip.
Your car right in front of you.
Yeah. I walk over to the whip, catch him breaking in my shit. I try to get the fuck away from the car. What you doing? I got a rifle inside the car. He done already got inside the car and reaching inside of them. So my thing is, if he get his hands on them, he gonna cut everybody down in this parking lot. So I instantly tell him, get the fuck away from the car, bag out of the door right now. Instead of doing that, he chose to make threats verbally and reach in his pocket while walking towards me. So I had to do what I had to do.
Not with the rifle, with something you already had on you.
I had my gun was on my hip too.
Right.
The rifle was just the gun that I left in the car, in between a driver console and a seat, an AR pistol. I had it in between the seat and the middle console right there.
And so, like, you're talking about having dealt with firearms since a young age. But was this the first time where you actually had to really consider using it? Like, in that moment, making this fucking huge decision about what you're gonna do must have been like the heaviest burden, and you have to make this decision in like seconds.
Right. But I mean, you'll be surprised at what you do when your life flash in front of your eyes.
Right.
If you feel like you finna die, you are capable of some shit. You capable of protecting yourself. I'm telling you, like, your body got natural instincts.
And if somebody's reaching and grabbing a fucking rifle out of your car right in front of you, I mean, that's basically like the clearest sign possible.
It's past that. He already done came out of the car. Now he reaching for his hip. It's a big ass boulder in his pocket, and he trying to get it out. So he away from the car, and now he trying to get a boulder out of his pocket.
Yeah.
See a big ass bulge. When the forensic specialist running back, everybody see the bulge. Everybody see something sticking out his pocket, and he trying to grab it. So that's what led me to I knew a weapon was in the play. I'm already trained on you with a weapon. You continuing to walk towards me, like you got something, and you making verbal threats at the same time. Feel me?
So you do what you gotta do, and
Right.
he's neutralized right away. So
Right.
this is like a couple seconds later, boom, the threat is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say a couple seconds later because he ain't neutralized right away. I empty out my magazine, but when he hit the ground, he's still moving. Like, so it ain't, you think you shoot somebody
Right.
and they stop immediately, that ain't how it works. When you shoot somebody, they gonna have an adrenaline dump. It's a high chance that they gonna have an adrenaline dump. At that time, they gonna become even more sporadic and move with more energy than they was moving in the beginning. So it's like they body trying to survive something, so it go into overdrive. So a lot of people think you fire a weapon and the threat is stopped. Nah, you gotta be trained and you gotta know how to use that gun to really stop that threat. Especially if somebody got the possibility of firing back on you or using a weapon within close proximity,
But so did that happen? Like he went for the gun or something like after you unleashed all your bullets?
So he had a big ass brick in his pocket. A big boulder, concrete boulder.
You saying like one of these things type shit?
It was that size for sure.
Jeez.
When they dropped it on the desk, that motherfucker made the whole courtroom shake. It's like this big, literally. I shot it in half too. I shot the brick in half too. So when they had it in the courtroom, it was broken in half. That shit would have killed me.
Yeah.
I'd have stood there and got hit with that shit. We wouldn't be talking right now.
And you just had a regular handgun, so
Exactly.
you're like outmatched big time in that regard. Yeah.
Exactly. With the fact that this motherfucker don't make you stop immediately, a handgun don't stop you immediately. So I still could have been harmed. So I'm still, I'm still thinking about my safety.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, what was you thinking? I'm thinking about my safety.
Right.
I'm thinking about my life just flashed in front of my fucking eyes. If I reach on you right now and you don't know me, boy, that shit have put the fear of God in you. If you don't know me and you walk outside and I go, I'm finna blast your ass, and man, you a shit on yourself.
Right.
They'll call you Adam Doo-Doo. Cause you a shit on yourself. I'm telling you, bro.
So what happened immediately after that? Was it a situation where like
I stayed on the scene?
Oh yeah, you stayed.
I dialed 911. Told them a shooting happened. By the time I got to explaining what happened, the police was whipping into the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? I stayed there and
Did they treat you as if you were a violent criminal right away, or did they?
They ain't know.
seem to
They ain't know I
understand?
had nothing to do with the situation because they pull up and yellow taped everything off.
Mm-hmm.
So we on the outer perimeter. So I could have just hopped in my car and left if I wanted to run from the situation.
But there's cameras and all this shit, so you know you're gonna have to deal with it.
The cameras. I mean, I know I wasn't.
You have
doing
nothing to hide,
Yeah,
yeah.
I ain't had nothing to hide.
Self-defense.
This somebody's child. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I understand this. This is an unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm.
This need to be handled the right way. You know. So I stay right there. You dig?
Yeah.
Wait for them to come. They yellow tape it off. I approach them and let them know I need to, you know, this I'm involved with this situation. They get the back, push me out the perimeter again. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to holler at you. And I guess one officer realized, yo, he's saying he involved with this. Pull him over to the side. So I told him exactly what happened, like I just told you. And the motherfuckers choose to charge me with second-degree murder.
Before they had even seen the video footage or anything that would make them think that you were the aggressor?
Yeah, because as soon as I met the detectives downtown for questioning, after the questioning was over, that's when they charged me. So I don't know if they seen the tape because I think I made it downtown before the detective made it. So he walked straight in, and they took me in the interrogation room behind him. So I know he probably ain't seen no tape unless he watched it in the car on his phone. But this was from you know what I'm saying?
Was it a mistake to talk to them without a lawyer?
F***ing right. Don't. You get in any situation, do not talk without no lawyer.
Even if you think you're 100%
It don't
not in
matter
the wrong.
what it is. The police job is to try to find where you're wrong at and put handcuffs on your monkey ass. Do not make no statement ever with the police until you got a lawyer present. I don't even give a if he was asking you what kind of gum you like. That shit could have been found on the murder scene and he trying to pin you to it. Wrigley's gum, what you like? Damn, we just found that shit on the body.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I don't want to. I need a lawyer. The police tell me how you doing. I want a lawyer that'll say it back.
You're thinking I'm innocent, I got nothing to hide, and if anything, me being so open about my version of what happened is gonna make them really believe that I'm telling the truth. That's like human nature to assume that, but you're not talking about humans, you're talking about cops, and they operate differently.
And I understand it's their job to find something wrong with your story. Like, so you're in a lose-lose situation with them. From that to the district attorney, it's their job, bro.
Right.
You're fighting against a real deal strong force.
So how long did you essentially fight that case?
3 years.
3 years.
Had an ankle monitor for 3 years. Big stupid ass shit on my pants, bro. I couldn't wear no jeans I wanted to wear. I couldn't get in the tub like I wanted to. I had to have my foot up in the air every time I take a bath. Like this was the weakest shit ever.
So you made bail pretty quickly.
Hell yeah, I made bail quick.
Okay.
Well, I had that bag put up.
And then
And it wasn't. I don't even think my bread got touched. I think my people just threw my people I just paid them when I got out.
So then you're also dealing with the fact that, you know, anything that happens also becomes like a shit show on social media, and you got all these different pages posting about it, and like I feel like that must have been kind of crazy for you as somebody who prior to that had a pretty clean image.
Yeah, but see, the up thing about it is my community. I'm thinking about my community. Like,
Right.
I really mean something in my community. And this family is a family that I got love for. The family of the deceased is a family that I got real deal love for.
But you didn't know that until after? I
I don't know who this is in front of me. I know I'm faced with a threat. I really got love for this family. Was raised in their houses, ate at their tables. You understand what I'm saying? So this is a f***ed up situation. You understand?
Wow.
In the courtroom, his family is back there saying this shit's f***ed up for me either way it go. Cause she raised me and him.
So when did you realize it was somebody that you actually knew?
I never knew him.
She just
But
raised.
you had
But
relations.
he's family to
Right.
people that's like my family. So he ain't stay in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Maybe he came over their house before, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But this family is somebody I got a lot of love for, the whole family. Like, I with the whole family.
Damn. And so, okay, but are you paying attention to the dialogue that's taking place on social media where people are probably talking about you like either you crashed out or you were just like a bad person, psychopath
Yeah, I
type
see that
shit,
stupid ass shit.
or acting like, oh, he must be on some straight tweaker shit. Like I can just imagine the narratives that people would automatically insert rather than, you know, wait to find out the details.
You got your gun on you. You got a son to make it home to.
Mm-hmm.
You think somebody is finna take your life? What you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
How much you love your kid? Just picture a mother getting it, you standing there and waiting, and a mother do something to you, and they call your son and say, and your baby mama have to tell your son some. I don't believe in speaking bad shit in the ass. So you feel where I'm going? Just picture that shit. Your son, nigga, sitting at home crying because you ain't coming. It's gonna f him up. I ain't playing like that. I'm not playing like that. I love everything around me, but I be damn. I love everything, and I'm gonna protect everything around me. And if I could stop anything bad from happening, I'm always gonna do that. But I value my life to the point where I can't let nobody play with it. Period.
But so during this whole time period, I'm imagining how you must have been feeling, and I feel like you must have been thinking that at some point they're going to see the video, they're going to figure out what happened, and they're going to drop the charges or whatever. Like, but then that doesn't happen. They just aggressively pursue charges against you,
Right.
and like,
That's the craziest shit. I knew the video was gonna free me, bro. I knew that shit. I'm like, they got to watch this shit, and this shit got to free me. Cause it's still playing back in my mind. I went for that, like, damn. That video didn't do shit for me.
But why?
it really didn't even in court.
You know why the video did something for me in court? Cause I hired a specialist to blow certain parts of the video up, to show the bulge in his pocket, to show him walking in the store doing weird shit with the bulge still in his pocket. All of that type of shit is what when I got a specialist to with that footage, then it favored me.
And for like us in California, we always think of down south, and we think that this is the type of situation in which it's where gun laws are looser and it's easier to get off on self-defense. So I feel like that's when we heard this story, it was always kind of surprising to us because we're like, this is the kind of case that people are supposed to beat down south.
Right, but you got to think, they got the officer outside the car saying, "That's Hurricane Chris, bro." See, my lawyer got all this on audio. All this shit was played back in court. I slam dunked their ass. It was so obvious that they had their dick hard for arresting a celebrity to where the jury didn't even want to see no more of this shit. You got the fucking officer outside the car telling me, "Bro, this Hurricane Chris." And guess what else he's saying? "Bro, this shit is self-defense."
That's crazy for them to say that, and then they still
the officer
charge
on the scene.
Because this situation is actually like incredibly similar to what happened with the baby in Walmart.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to fight it,
Exactly.
you know?
So why the fuck I gotta fight it? I'm in Louisiana, a place to go through any type of legal shit. You go down there, your ass do life for jaywalking. They changing all kind of crazy laws. Now they don't even do parole in Louisiana no more. Like, your ass go to jail, you gotta do all your time. They taking parole away. They trying to do all kind of shit like this. Louisiana, if you go to a lot of places, you might not know this, but Louisiana, you go to jail, you still gotta go work out in the field, like on life. That shit for real.
Wow, really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Go to Angola, get a charge where your ass sentenced with some monster shit where you around nothing but lifers. Boy, I can show you pictures. I got a homeboy who got 2 life sentences right now. He go to the hole every other day because he won't go and work in the field.
Wow.
Like, this shit is some back in the day slavery type shit going on in Louisiana.
Wow.
You see, Boosie got the fuck up out of there. I got the fuck up out of there. Wayne got the fuck up out of there. Birdman, everybody.
Young boy.
Young boy, you gotta get the fuck. They want your ass.
Facts.
And I did all type of shit for my city. All the and state representatives that then call me to come perform at parades and ride on floats. You thinking that these old wig wearing motherfuckers came and helped me in court? Nah, bruh. I had a state representative running around telling the whole city she was my auntie, to the point where everybody telling me, call your auntie, I need to do this, I need to do this, she's using my juice up. Ain't got a lick, you ain't fucking kin to me. Ain't none of these people showed up to my trial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? Everybody ain't your friend.
They care about their careers. And if you're somebody civil servant and you look like you're defending a murderer, then they're just concerned about the optics.
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna let you know how I feel. And everybody who didn't support me after it was over, they got a long text from me. I told them straight up, don't never say another fucking word to me ever in your life. We ain't friends. We ain't nothing. Like, it is what it is.
Are you still in the process of, I think you said you was going to sue the state?
It's a big thing with that, because in order to do that, I got to be able to get the transcripts and everything that happened inside of the courtroom. So I got to dump the bag. I got to go ahead and crank it up with my lawyers and go ahead and dump a big bag and not even be promised to know if I'm going to be able to get the transcripts, because they can deny this, and they going to deny giving me the court documents on everything they was said inside of it.
But it costs a lot of money to get that?
It costs money for me to hire my lawyers. So if I hire these lawyers and sick them on this mission, they telling me it ain't no guarantee that they're going to be able to get all the documents and all of the transcripts. So.
And what's the main thing that you feel like you should be able to sue them on the basis of?
The fact that they took my Second Amendment away from me. Not my Second Amendment, but my right to defend myself. They took my right to defend myself away from me, because you had nothing to show you that I wasn't in danger. And you got me as the witness saying everything that you see on video and telling you that I'm in fear for my life from what you see happening on this video. Fear for my life how can you tell me if I'm in fear for my life or not? And reasonable fear. This was reasonable fear. If you walk out the door and I reach into my pocket and say I'm about to shoot you, that's reasonable fear that you have. That is a reason to fear that your life is about to be taken from you. And that's what the law say. It was reasonable fear.
100%. So how long do you have to sit before the trial starts?
I waited 3 years.
And you just got it hanging over your head the whole time. Like, how are you spending your time while you're awaiting that?
Depressed as a mother. Some of my homeboy were telling me, man, you act like this shit ain't over your head. What, you ain't worried about this shit? But I guess I had got so stressed to the point where I just got numb to everything around me. Like, I'm in a basement smoking myself 9,000 blunts. I need the strongest weed I could find on God's earth. I'm drinking. I don't want to see nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother, people like that is the only people I even want to conversate with and come around. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to see nobody right now. Like, this shit got me fucked up. My whole life being played with. These people telling me second degree. And you know, in Louisiana, that shit carry life. You guaranteed to do life if you get charged with a second degree in Louisiana.
And you probably would have loved to just hop on social media and say exactly what happened to correct all the people who had up ideas about you, but I'm guessing that your lawyers told you not to do that, so you weren't really able to?
Let me make no statements. I couldn't really do a lot of interviews that I, you know what I'm saying, and make a lot of statements. Even when I did the Vlad interview, that shit was so strict on what I could talk about and what I couldn't talk about.
But that was after you had already beat it, right?
I did 2 of them with him. I did one after it happened, and then I did one with him after I beat it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you had done one before as well. Okay.
Yeah. Me and Vlad been rocking.
Shout out Vlad.
Yeah.
Legend. But okay, so how long did the trial last?
This shit lasted like 9-10 days.
Okay.
And I was in there on my birthday too.
And how confident were you?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
March, I was. The only thing that'll make me confident is if I could sit with my lawyers for a long time and go over the facts and like keep drilling them in my head.
Yeah.
But I wasn't confident when it got closer and closer. Once I started sitting in that courtroom, seeing how I ain't got no control, I thought court was gonna be like, I was gonna get to go in here and talk and be like, this what happened. Nah, you gotta sit down and watch the state make up stories about you for a whole day.
Because you didn't have too much of a criminal record before this?
Nah, hell nah, I ain't had no criminal record.
Right.
My guns was legal and everything. Like,
You had like everything going for you that you could possibly want to have going for you in this kind of case.
Straight up.
Pretty crazy.
Straight up. Like, but at the same time, that shit didn't matter. They wanted me. Like, that shit didn't matter, bro. I could have had God right there standing outside saying, this is what happened. Chris was in fear for his life. You know what they would have did? Took God ass to jail and me to jail. They would say, go in the cell with him.
On the basis of you having like mutual family friends and everything, like how did that go in terms of like, I'm sure there was people who were angry at you and like you're probably having to see them.
Nah.
Was it not like that?
They all reach out to me.
They understood?
They made statements on my behalf
Really?
to my lawyers.
Wow. That's big.
Wasn't there other
They
witnesses?
said, Chris, you ain't never been no bully. You ain't never with nobody. You ain't never been, that ain't true. We just can't see this shit. Don't feel bad, Chris. This what his family telling me. Hold your head up. It's a up situation. We sad about our people, but Chris, we know you wasn't just out here wilding like that.
And so that all got said in court.
Hell no, this ain't get to make it to court.
Really?
They wouldn't let it in.
You thought that it would be able to
They
make
wouldn't let it in.
Really?
Because I paid investigator and everything to record the statements from the family members. They wouldn't let it in.
Wow. That's crazy.
Was there any witnesses at the gas station?
Yeah. He said everything I said.
You'd think that would be open and shut too.
He said everything I said, bro. He stood on the stand, said everything I said. He said, I walked in the store. He was telling them to step away from the car. I don't know what you got in your pocket. Take your hand away from your pocket. He said, when I walked out the store, the little guy was saying the same thing. He called me the little guy. He said, look how little the guy is. I would have been scared too. Look at how little he is. He doing this in court.
Yeah.
Wow. So how'd it feel when they read the verdict out?
Man, that was like a weight off my shoulder. That was a weight off my shoulder. I felt like I had my life back. The whole time this shit was going on, I just felt like one day these folks finna tell me, come on, let's go. And I'm gonna be writing letters to my people from now on. Like, I ain't have too much faith in that justice system.
Yeah.
But I won all 12 jurors. Ain't nobody say I was guilty. Everybody said not guilty.
Wow.
Came back with all 12 of them. So I couldn't do nothing but thank God. I broke down like a straight biatch. What? You want to see some tears, some crocodile tears? Oh, you two hard ass niggas. Yeah, I was crying.
Wow.
Fucking right, boy. I got my life back. I'm finna go play football with my son. Yeah.
Everything just felt completely different after that.
Yeah, my life don't belong to nobody else.
Wow.
I'm finna do all kind of shit tonight.
Walk us through that day. What'd you do that night?
Got drunk than a bitch till I couldn't fucking see straight. Cause keep in mind, I couldn't drink on the ankle monitor either.
Really?
And they told me stop drinking, you can't do shit.
They can tell if you're drinking or?
I wasn't about to find out.
But you was smoking, right?
I was smoking.
Yeah. So how the would they be able to tell you was drinking over the liquor?
I guess I told them I'm a fool on that liquor or something. Yeah. I don't know, bro, but that was weird to me. Like, no drinking, what the
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wasn't no big drinker, but after that shit was over, bro, I got drunk as
Who did you actually feel like had your back or like stayed in communication with you or was solid throughout this whole thing?
My brother, my mama, my daddy, my old lady, my son.
So the rap friends are just kind of out the window.
Who?
I don't know.
Boosie supported me.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name.
Every time they asked him something, he was like, shit, Kane did what he was supposed to do.
Right.
So that's who supported me.
Boosie been through the fire. You know, he knows what it's like to live through all this type of shit.
I talked to a few rappers, and they was like talking to me like I was like a terrible person. Like, boy, you need to calm down. You wilding out there.
See, a lot of people just assume that. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, what?
it's kind of like more likely for it to be some wild shit than for it to be some self-defense shit. I think that's how the cops think of it too. Is that it's like, yeah, maybe you're gonna be able to beat this on self-defense, but we think that 90% of the time it wasn't. So we're just gonna assume that it wasn't self-defense.
Right. And that's up. That's up.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they think
When you
like
should
that, bro.
start from the presumption of innocence. That's what we taught our whole fucking life.
Nah, you guilty to proving innocent.
Yeah.
It's shit backwards.
What's the biggest takeaway you took from that situation?
Bruh, enjoy life. You know what I do now? Walk in a fucking backyard and just stand and look at the trees, bruh. Cause all this shit was about to be taken from me. All the shit these cats value, all the shit these niggas value. I don't value none of this fool ass shit. I don't value none of these They fake transformer body bitches. I don't value the motherfucking Cybertruck. I don't value none of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's life. Man, I really go to the football field and throw that ball with my son every other day until my fucking arm about to come out of socket. Like I'm valuing that shit. Even though I'm on the road, I'm doing music, I'm in the studio, but I'm thankful that when I go home, I got a home I can go to and I'm gonna be able to chill and not have to think about doing life in jail. Cause to go from living your motherfucking life, pulling up in whatever you wanna pull up in, to a motherfucker telling you probably finna have to do life. I got people in my ear telling me, go on, take 10 years, Chris. They try to throw 40 at me like, you want to jump on this?
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there had to be a plea deal offer at a certain point. And I've listened to interviews with a ton of people who got charged with murder and basically like tried to fight it and then ended up getting a crazy long sentence and ended up regretting that they didn't take the plea deal. Was that ever an option in your head?
No, it wasn't no plea on nothing. They could have told me 5 years. I would have told them, hell nah. Let's crank this bitch up and go to trial. That's just how confident I was in the fact that I was protecting myself. I ain't no stupid ass cat. I've been around firearms too long to know not to play with them. I ain't just out here looking to shoot nobody, no dumb shit like that. That's crazy, bro.
Right. Yeah. Like the whole narrative of that is so fucking dumb. Yeah, I've been a successful rapper for like 10, 15 years, and then I wanted to just kill a random dude in the parking lot at a gas station. Like, why the would anyone ever do that? It doesn't make any sense.
While I'm investing in businesses and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the officers said, this motherfucker on a dispensary. We got to lock him back up and give him another $500,000 bond. Matter of fact, we're going to try to raise this one to $1 million. So my lawyer called me like, hey, they about to have a hearing. And they about to try to take the bond and give you a bigger bond. I'm like, they can do this shit?
Just because they hear that you're making a lot of money?
Bro, I think it's this motherfucker started researching, and I had posts like when we was doing grand openings and shit like that. I think he really was researching because I heard them same officers was in tattoo shops talking about me. The tattoo artists come to my house and tell me like, these motherfuckers down here talking crazy. Wow. So like, that's how tied into my community I am though. Like, motherfuckers know I ain't been no bad person around there. So, you know, if they see some shit that need to be spoken on, they're gonna let me know.
If you had some crazy history of violence and shit, it would make a little more sense for them to be assuming that you were guilty.
Right, yeah. If I was known for putting that pistol on motherfuckers, then I would understand them treating me like that, but I'm known for getting to this bag, doing this music, putting this rod in your grab or something like that. I might have did some of that, you know, but nah, man, everything been player, you know, with me. Like, I grew up in a environment, so I ain't wanted to go chase that shit again as a rapper. I seen murder my whole life growing up. It wasn't nothing excited about telling me somebody had a shootout. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to see that shit. We were walking from the bus stop seeing people laying on the ground, bust up, hit with shit, laying on the ground, with ambulancing around, pumping on their chest. This shit we walk home from school seeing as kids. So right now I'm trying to be around some people who focus on being successful. Talk to me about how we can invest in something, own something, and have something. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got off the phone with some people who own a building. I'm finna buy a smoothie shop right now. Yeah, so I can't even tell you the name of it, but I'm on my business shit right now. I don't even want to hang around no young, dumb, stupid ass niggas. Like, you feel me? It's just what it is. And I got a lot of people that I got to distance myself from.
That's how it felt when you got out, or that's how you feel
still right now?
Even right now. Because I know what I ain't finna go back to. I know I ain't finna let these... Y'all playing, throwing rocks at the pen, thinking this shit a game. Yeah. And you ain't even got no real bag. You out here using that gun like that and doing all this dumbass shit. I hope you got some real deal money to fight this shit. Because it ain't about how many times you can shoot that gun. It's going to be how many times you can go to the bank account to take out $50,000. When that lawyer keeps saying, I need another 25, I need another 50. Or we hopping off your case. Or your ass finna do 1,000 chameleon years. You know. Like, it's two sides to this street shit. You know, I just be wanting youngsters to understand that. It ain't cheap.
No, I feel that. What do you think about, like, NBA Youngboy and all the legal stuff he's been going
I with Youngboy. You ain't finna make me say nothing bad about YB. I with him.
Yeah.
I with YB. No YB slander would be tolerated. I've been with YB since he was little. His manager used to call me. His partner who got killed, I think his name, Dump. He used to hit me up a long time ago. When
we had Lil Dump on here.
Y'all had him on?
Yeah, his nephew.
This before Young Boy got big. Dump used to hit me up like, man, this little nigga wild and they don't know what to. And I used to just try to give him game on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, like I fuck with YB. His music hard. I just think he grew up in the same environment I grew up in. That shit can go either way. You heard how I was just telling you I was fucked up in environments I shouldn't have been fucked up, mean mugging in. Yeah. Like, when you come from a war zone, Louisiana is a literal war zone. Motherfuckers walk down the street with AKs, and like they walking with them shits. And before it's like that now everywhere, but this shit been like that in Louisiana. Like, we was raised in a situation where we shouldn't have been raised in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all traumatized from the environment we was raised in. You seen some shit you ain't had no business seeing in Louisiana. I know coming from where you at, Cali or wherever everybody else at, it's the same thing. So you understand the struggle. You know what I'm saying? So you should understand before you speak on somebody, oh, this nigga a dope fiend. Man, this man going through shit. You don't know what he going through in his life. If he's self-medicating, then they let you know he got some shit on his mind. You feel me? Like, I feel for the youngsters, and I wish I could, just give them, a little game straight up. That's like, I ain't gonna never down talk nobody because I see them going through no legal problems, bro. Because they down talk me. They talk shit about me. I know how that shit feel. Like, yeah.
There's like a dynamic that always happens where somebody will get arrested for some shit or caught up for some shit, and it's on every blog, everybody talking about it, and then fast forward a couple years, like in your case, you beat the charge, and it's like people are like whispering about the fact that you beat it. Like, it doesn't get anywhere near the same level of attention.
Bro, when we was in trial, it was about 150, 200 people in the courtroom. As soon as they said not guilty, the was out of there so fast, bro. It's like, this ain't what we came to see. We came to see a nigga get life. Damn. This ain't it. They was mad like they paid their money, bro, to see some shit. Ain't nobody standing this bitch to celebrate with me and like, yes, nothing.
It's crazy.
Yes, it's like that.
I mean, it's crazy even, all right, Young Thug is like one of the biggest rappers of the past 10, 15 years. He's on trial for something that's unbelievably serious, and it kind of feels like the rap fans have like lost interest in paying attention to the trial. Like the people just have the attention span of a fucking goldfish.
Right.
And they just move on hella fast. We're talking about one of the biggest rappers facing one of the most serious trials we could think of.
Right.
And they just, I still see posts about it a little bit, but it's not that crazy.
I think that's because they interested in the shit from a fan's perspective of they only gonna get high off of it for a day or two. Me, every time I see Young Thug in that fucking courtroom and with me, and I have to sit down and watch it, and I can't just skip over this shit because I've been through that shit and I know what he fighting for. If them motherfuckers say the wrong shit in there, we might not, you know what I'm saying? You can not see bro again, which I feel like he gonna be good in this situation. You feel me? I feel like that shit gonna work out for the best. Like, I've been in Atlanta for a minute, and I ain't never had to stay in a house because Young Thug was causing so much trouble. They ain't never said, y'all don't come outside today. And why I said niggas tearing the city up. Like, I think they making him out to be a fucking monster, bro. They paint a picture of him like he a monster when it's way more fucking, it's people who really dangerous. I'm talking about, you mention his name and then you bring up a couple of incidents where somebody may have got killed, but man, it's people with real deal bodies that's smacking shit. And they ain't after them because they want high profile cases.
They want a high profile case. They're trying to get the
high profile cases.
Yep.
And there's so many situations I can think of in which there's like a street gang doing crazy shit associated with all kinds of wild stuff, and then there's a rapper from that same city who's famous and everybody knows he's kind of associated with that crew of people, but then like nobody's ever attempted to make the case that that person is like commanding all of them, because we all kind of know that situation is less likely. What's more likely is that there's crazy ass shit going on in the streets. This rapper is from that gang or grew up around those people, but he's not hopping on the phone and ordering murders. That's just what the dudes in the streets are doing, and a lot of times the dudes in the streets are not reporting back up to the top. If anything, and I mean, maybe I'm being presumptuous, but a lot of times those dudes don't even want the big dog to necessarily know.
It's somebody that with Adam to the point where if they think somebody really want to do you something,
right,
they'll smack them and not even tell you nothing, bro. It's somebody who love you like that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's somebody who you like that.
It's Remo. It's my shooter.
Shit.
Like, that's facts, bro. That's real facts. You got to think about that shit like that.
Nah, it's crazy.
It's facts.
Prayers up for Thug. But okay, so what has life been like? Like you're saying that you're doing all the family stuff and everything, but like what has been the focal point of your life since?
Man, I've been recording like a mother. I dropped a mixtape, Hurricane Season 2. Go get that. I guarantee you, I got the hardest mixtape out right now. I got the hardest mixtape out right now. I'm smashing all that shit. Hurricane Season 2. Go check that bitch out. And if you say that bitch ain't hard, then I'ma cash app you something.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Tell me that bitch ain't stupid.
Y'all might want to take him up on that.
Yeah, I got Volume 3 cock back. Me and Boosie just dropped a single. We got some content. We finna drop a song called Murder. Me and Ciara Gates, a female artist that I'm working with right now. I'm working with some reality TV shows right now. I've been filming. So like, I'm moving. This shit ain't stopping with me. I'm a hustler. I'm gonna go get to a bag regardless.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it is with me. It's in my bloodline.
What was it like seeing Sexy Red remix one of your songs?
Shit, I knew I was gonna get royalty checks from it, so I was psyched out. She hit me before she did it. Told me, she was like, "Can I get this cleared?" I hit the CEO up like, "Hey, Sexy Red just redid this shit. Make sure everything go through." And I still had forgot to call one person, one of my other CEOs. They double back and called me like, "Hey, boop, boop, boop." So everybody got the paperwork did and shit. And now she got one of the biggest records on the billboards right now. That record right now is killing the fucking game. That's like one of the biggest urban records right now.
That's one thing I love about her is that she's like a young chick, but she
pays homage.
Exactly. She has a lot of stuff over the years that is not necessarily always the most mainstream shit, but she taps in. She goes to Chicago. She taps in when Katie got bands. We all thought that was amazing. Yeah. And she really feels like she's doing what she wants to be doing. Like she's doing all the songs with Chief Keef. Like I very much believe that was her favorite rapper going into all this, and like her acknowledging your shit and everything.
Bringing
like
Chingy, legendary.
She does a lot of dope shit that like she doesn't have to do.
A lot of people hate on her and don't give her flowers, bro.
Yeah.
So I just try to make sure I let motherfuckers know like, bruh, just imagine what else she could be doing right now without an opportunity to make this bread. We got young black women struggling, bro. They can't feed their kids. They really struggling out here. You would rather see a young black woman trying to figure life out or making some music. You might not like every fucking thing that come out of. She might not be the perfect person that you want to take home and marry, but I don't think she trying to go home with you like that. She trying to get a bag, bro. This shit is a hustle. This shit is music. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I respect the hustle. I ain't never gonna hate on no new shit that they dropping.
It's crazy though, because like a lot of people want to judge her on the basis of the fact that she be talking about a bunch of ignorant ass shit. But it's like, as dudes, who are the rappers that we celebrate more often than not? The ones who are talking about some crazy ass shit, and that's
Straight
like,
up.
but they act like it's a completely unique thing that she's talking about a bunch of ratchet shit. It's like, no, like that's really her, and it really makes sense to me, and I see the reaction from girls I know when they hear Sexy Red songs,
and
it just
real.
clicks with them.
And it's real. Like from her, I get the vibe that, say for instance, with Sexy Red, if you fucking with her, I get the vibe that she ain't finna let a nigga rob you. You know how you got some females that a dude could get to and be like, hey, set this nigga up for me. Mm-hmm. I feel like she'll be that one like, nah, I ain't fucking with no shit like that. Just gonna keep it all the way real. When you got these fake motherfuckers who walk around like this and being all perfect, them the motherfuckers you can't trust. Them the motherfuckers who texting secretly. A person like that, you see she let motherfuckers know who she be talking to and dealing with. She put the shit out there, know what I'm saying? So I respect it. Yeah. I just don't respect that fake shit, that I'm perfect shit, because you ain't perfect. If we go to digging through your background, we're going to find a long fruit roll-up list of niggas who done bust you up. So I can respect a female who keep it real. She might want to bust you up just like you want to bust her up. I respect it, yeah.
Who's some rappers from Louisiana you feel like we should be paying attention to?
Hurricane Chris.
Yeah.
He got Hurricane Season 2 out. You know who else?
Anybody new?
I'm finna tell you the new nigga. Hurricane Chris.
That's it.
He just dropped.
That's all that we need to know,
He just
right?
dropped. Nah, but shout out to the whole state, man. I ain't just start doing this. I've been rocking with the state, so I'm gonna go. I ain't gonna talk about it right now. We're gonna talk about everybody who done made the state great. I'm gonna give a shout out to Bird, man. I grew up listening to them. Like Master P. all the greats of Louisiana, you know, they really gave us something to strive after. I used to want to wear them big stupid ass Dookie chains Birdman was wearing.
At that time, if you had to choose to sign to No Limit or Cash Money, who you think you'd have went with?
It's f***ed up. Why you do that, bruh?
Just
You gonna separate Louisiana, bruh?
That's not sad. I mean, that's the main question that a lot of people ask in Louisiana is like the Master P and Birdman.
I'm gonna answer it for him. By the
You
time
gonna see this shit, bruh?
by the time he really got lit, Cash Money was way bigger than No Limit.
Man, you right.
You go back to like 2001.
Yeah.
It's more
I
of like
missed
an
it.
even conversation.
Yeah, I missed the No Limit era. I wasn't old enough. Like when Cash Money came though, I was able to go get a CD and put it in a radio player. The Hot
Yeah.
Boys with the afros on there, like yeah. So I gotta give it to the Hot Boys. I gotta give it to Cash Money. I gotta give it to Cash Money.
Yo,
He a
that-
hell of a hustler. I ain't taking
Yeah,
that from
yeah.
P. You gonna have P not fucking with me after
Nah,
this.
you with you.
What about that
Shout out
Hot
to
Boy?
Go Get the Cereal.
I just would have went to Cash Money for artists because I like the artists. I
didn't-
ain't saying CEO shit, nothing they got going.
I didn't 100% even dig into it, but I seen crazy shit about the drama with the Hot Boys reunion over the weekend or whatever. Like
I'm listening.
Give me a
to
lighter.
Lil Wayne didn't end up hitting the stage and shit because Turk wasn't there, so he felt like it wasn't a real reunion.
I missed that.
There's a whole bunch of different shit that was going on behind the scenes there.
Wayne wasn't there.
Yeah.
I see. It seemed like BG, Birdman, and Fresh performed.
But they said that everybody left in the crowd, and then Lil Wayne came out and did a solo set. Like he was that much. Like I think he really wanted to stand on business in terms of the Hot Boys reunion. And so
everyone-
Turk not being there, he was like, "Nah, it ain't the Hot Boys. We're
He
not
felt
doing
like it wasn't a reunion.
So it was definitely some miscommunication there. Yeah, it sounds pretty crazy.
I think they're gonna get that shit together.
Yeah, they
I
should.
think they're gonna get it together because it's too much money on the line for that. For like, bro, they gonna sell out arenas.
Yeah.
You ever been around Wayne?
I used to like that's my
Like when he was on the tour bus, he was around and shit too.
like still to this day. That's like my brother. I can go straight to his house, and when I pull up, the security guards gonna hop out with their guns, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of my way, and I'm gonna walk in the house, whether he there or not, and make me a sandwich or something. And that's my brother.
Yeah, that's hard.
he like when I come to Miami, Broden always took care of me. Well, this ain't Miami, so I'm tripping. But anytime I go to Miami, Broden always took care of me from being able to go to the mansion to giving me an apartment to hold down, so I ain't got to go to no weird Airbnbs. Like, bro just always held me down in Miami.
For sure.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's like my family, bro. Like, real talk. It's deeper than rap with me. I ain't no rap friend. I don't got rap friends.
What keeps you motivated with the music and everything, and after all these years, and what else is important to you in life besides family and music at this point?
I got a non-profit I just started, so I want to be able to help these young gunslingers who doing all this senseless killing and shooting. I got a non-profit. It's called the Lawyer Foundation, Leading Our Youth at Life. 501, everything's just got approved. So now I'm looking for a property that I can let kids come to, pick 3 people from 3 different careers and let them spend a couple hours with them after school, whichever area they choose to spend time with. Some kids, I'm gonna have a sports director for kids who are interested in being athletes, a nurse for kids who are interested in the medical field, and I'm figuring out exactly what the third person is gonna be right now, along with counselors that's gonna be able to see about what's going on in their life and try to, give support. I want to help the youth.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. What you thought I was finna say? I'm finna go buy the Lamborghini, a Bentley. I'm trying.
Nah.
I'm trying to have sex with all these Ice Spice.
Oh my
That's what you thought? Nah, bro. I'm focused, man. I ain't getting off the gas. I'm focused on some real shit.
I got the sense that you were focused on the long run now.
Yeah, I'm trying to have Adam 22 money.
Hey.
And speaking of bulletproof vests, bro, they mad at you for the interviews you've been doing. I argued with somebody on the phone about you.
For real?
When I told him I was coming, I was like, you finna go do an interview with him? You ain't see that shit he did? We stayed on the phone for like a little minute, going back and forth, and they was finally like, you know what? I never heard nobody say that like that before. But
You know what's interesting to me is that, all right, let's say we were going to make a documentary about Pop Smoke's life. You're going to interview his family, his friends. Who else are you going to interview? The person who was involved with the end of his life. Now, a podcast, people are usually thinking of a podcast as just some friendly, fun shit. Like we're having a nice conversation. Even this, we're talking about some serious shit, but it's a good vibe. People are used to podcasts being like that, just so that they know it gets grimy too. We're going to talk about the nastiest shit, the worst shit that's happened. If it's
Right.
newsworthy, if it's history in terms of hip hop, I got no shame about having those conversations. So
It's media outlet.
I think like that was an eye-opening experience for a lot of people to realize that.
But answer this question. So going forward, you still 100% confident in doing shit the way you want to do it, or do you feel like I might need to start being a little more sensitive to the people I interview, or do you actually understand that you was doing your job?
The community that I care about very much appreciated that interview.
Okay.
I'm speaking to and for the streets.
Okay.
So
All right.
never for a second during all this have I doubted my decision.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder how this shit fucking with him.
Yeah.
I was about to DM you. I'm like, I wonder if this shit really.
I barely even read any of it, to be honest.
You don't give a damn.
I don't give a goddamn.
You seem nonchalant.
I already know that I made the right decision for myself as a content creator. That to me was one of the most important interviews I ever did.
So the person I was talking to, they was like, "He a culture vulture." I told him, I said,
Say something interesting.
I said, so if I go get a Chinese restaurant right now and make money off of it,
I'll invest.
I'm a culture vulture. I said, man, he figured out how to make money off of our community. And if I figure out how to make money off any community, I'm gonna make it. I wouldn't give a damn if I was selling ice to Eskimos. The man figured out how to make money off of certain content.
It ain't about money though.
Yeah, I don't think it's about the money.
It's about the importance of telling these stories. I think the money is that comes with any job,
Bet.
But that's not really my
So it's
focal
more
point.
about the.
Yeah, telling the stories.
The journalism.
Yeah,
Got you.
feeding the streets.
I dig that.
That's
I watched the whole shit. I ain't gonna lie. I watched the whole shit.
Hey man, but coming from where you're from, that type of kid is not that's not the first time you've seen somebody have a conversation with a kid like that. But the people in the hip hop industry and shit, they don't necessarily
They don't
have to come face to face with. I don't want to call them pure evil, but somebody who's capable of evil like that.
They don't understand that if we don't lead the youth in the right direction, then what happened?
It's a
This
fact.
shit continue.
Yeah.
So what? We throw them in the trash can? Nah, I mean, these young men still young. Who's to say they gonna look at life how they look at life 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 2 years from now? I see a lot of unfortunate shit happen. I have deep condolences for all parties involved. But one thing I know is we can't give up on the youth. Somebody gotta show these young niggas how to move. Not saying that they just 100% the dumbest motherfuckers and can't think for themselves, but if we ain't here to give game as big brothers, this shit gonna get worse than it is. It's gonna get way worse than it is. So I appreciate you opening up and, allowing certain conversations to be had. And allowing certain shit to be heard. Cause now I can show my kid, hey, this is not the route to go. You see
Appreciate
this?
that.
Cause when I ain't gonna lie, when I look at some of these youngsters, I see my son, bro. I see the youth in their face. I see the youth in their skin. I see how much life they got ahead of them. And I be like, man, I wish I could get to some of these youngsters. I wish I could get to this youngster and try to just, you know what I'm saying? I wish it was some kind of way I could get to certain youngsters, bro. I guarantee you, if we could show them the shit we know, it's a whole different life. They ain't gonna want to live how they living if we show them the shit we know at. That's crazy if you think that. You think you gonna take a youngster, show him how to podcast, make millions of dollars, and he gonna say, F that, I wanna go gangbang and shoot mother. Nah, bro. We gotta blame us too. What the f we teaching the youngsters?
For real.
What we ain't teaching the youngsters. This ain't no more big brothers. These dumbass niggas putting sticks in their hands and bands in their hands and telling them what to go flip. So if somebody want to open up, and allow some dialect to happen, then I hope something good can come from it. That's how I feel about it.
That's real. That's
Shut
solid.
up on that. You dig?
Appreciate that. So, all right, tell the people what they gotta look out for.
Man, look out for Hurricane Season 2. It's out right now. You can look out for Hurricane Season 3. It's coming after that. Look out for the single I'm finna drop with Boosie. It's called Murder. I just dropped another single. I just shot the video. The single finna come out. It's called Tequila Crazy with Sierra Gates. I'm working. My non-profit Loyal Foundation. New smoothie shop on the way. I'm just working.
A lot of motion.
Trying to stretch my bankroll. I done had some Adam 22 money. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to do.
I like
That's
it. I'm trying to have Hurricane Chris money, man. We out here.
I want that Adam 22 money.
I'm trying to smoke some Hurricane Chris weed.
I'm thinking about a podcast too.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking about a podcast too.
Oh, you should.
I want to chop it up with you though, and just make sure I understand what I'm getting myself into. I ain't the type to dive head first and sit at the bottom of the totem pole. If I'm gonna do some shit, I want to do it.
For sure. Hey, I appreciate you coming in and sharing the story, man. Everybody, check his music out. I'm gonna listen to the new mixtape on the way home today.
Fuck with that.
See what you got going on. Shout out to Remo. Thank you for lining this up.
Remo ain't shit.
Yeah. Tell him.
That's my boy.
Hurricane Chris, man. Appreciate you, G. That was legendary. Thank you so much for your time.
One of the ones, man.
Let's go. Hurricane Chris. No jumper. Coolest podcast in the world. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.